Now, very quickly, and I think I want to take it from GDP, infrastructure, and growth. And I've always asked myself, why are Nigerians, and indeed people from other parts of the world, migrating in large numbers to other parts of the world? What we call here the Japa syndrome. Is it because of the food? Hello? Is it because of the language? Is it because of the weather? Certainly it can be, but one thing that sticks out to me, and I hope I'm not wrong, is that the infrastructure, the quality of infrastructure and how it affects the quality of life is a defining factor. And so that's where I need to start. So when I hear one of the candidates say, oh, they are just building infrastructure, they are not building the economy. Infrastructure builds the economy and builds the quality of life. And that's what we're doing. So let us use real life situations to dimension this thing. And one is the Apapa-Oworonshoki-Oshodi Expressway. Now, what did it used to be like in 2015? What does it look like now? And what is the turnaround and the travel time? And of course, for those who leave the state, take the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It used to be a day or two's journey to cover 127 kilometers. That can be efficient for business. It can be efficient for livelihood. It can be efficient for quality of life. Now, it is running at about 2 hours on the average, and it is still not finished. That is the difference. But beyond the travel time, the business, there is the economy of infrastructure that perhaps we haven't discussed enough. So let me start from the Second Niger Bridge. One component of the Second Niger Bridge, construction alone, is 19 million liters of diesel. That's what it's going to take, and it has taken, to construct that bridge. Now, those are people's businesses. So the construction company doesn't make diesel. It subcontracts it. You will see across your roads today that as you travel from state to state, you will begin to see highway signs. We call them route assurance signs that tell you how many kilometers you have traveled and how many is left. They were not there in 2015. But each sign is a job. Each sign is a business for a subcontractor. And those businesses are thriving. And you will see now lane marking, and a subsector of the economy that we were not even playing with is thriving. So without that infrastructure contract, those subcomponents won't happen. But let me share some numbers with you, and I think that they will dimension things in graphic terms. So in 2014, major components of construction include sand, laterite, and granite. So in 2014, let me use 2015. In 2015, there were 228 sand dredging companies licensed by the Ministry of Solid Mines and Steel. 228. By 2022, they had become 302. For those mining and quarrying granite, they were 335 in 2015. They had become 655. And for those quarrying laterite, which is the base of any road, they were 132 in 2015. They had more than doubled, essentially, to 259 in 2022. But the story doesn't end there. That's just the quarrying side. Then there's the transportation of quarry. So you will see NURTW, NATO, truck owners, because each quarry job is a trip. And then you see the employment of drivers. And this is how it happens. So if you go back to our GDP results quarterly, if you go to the sectoral performances, you will see that these are the sectors that have been doing well. since this administration came. They have consistently performed transport, quarrying, and mining, and the petroleum sector, because infrastructure investment drives it. And this is how money is distributed around an economy. I need not even now tell you about those who feed the hundreds of thousands of workers on site on a daily basis. And my trip to those sites indicate, as at last year, food was selling for about 200, 250 naira per plate at each construction site, and they were eating twice daily. And the food vendors were making between 5,000 to 10,000 naira, depending on the size that they fed, on a daily basis, after costs. So you do the numbers, and this is what infrastructure has done in this economy. And for those who are interested in seeing further about infrastructure and its impact on livelihoods and economy, just Google up the Marshall Plan and see what it did to Europe and indeed to Britain. And these were loans that the United Kingdom took after the Second World War. They finished paying just as recently as 2006. So the economic planner, the DG budget, the Ministry of Finance, the APC government is clear. This is the way to rebuild Nigeria. And we've done the foundation in half the time that it took the opposition to ignore the problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.